Right? Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kenneth Claxton. I'm a leather worker, but I was never a leather worker before. I was a fabricator and a mason. But when I worked for people outside, they used to rob me, so I decided, well, to damage somebody. And in planning to damage somebody, God step in and he tell me that if I damage somebody, my mother wouldn't be able to see me when I'm in jail. So I made a decision. I decided to ask God for my purpose. And when I asked God for my purpose, he gave me leather. So this is one of the bags that I could tell you that he gave me. I call this bag, don't call, see that? Right. Yeah, I call this bag Spirit. Yeah, because it was given by the Father to me. A Spirit gave me this bag. So I call it Spirit. And each work I do, that God always intervene and support what I'm doing. So I want to encourage people who listen to my voice today to ask God for your purpose before you start doing what you feel to do. Stop doing what you feel to do and do what God asks you to do. I rest my case in Jesus' name.
Where do you get your material from?
Well, we used to get material from outside, but right now it's diminishing. So I think we have to go back to local. Local, they have a low percentage, but we will have to go back to local and we have to take the leather and do it over. Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks very much.
Which is the people's favorite?
Well, I observe people like these, slippers with flowers.
Yeah, I could see why.
Yes.
It has an attraction.
Yes. It
makes you look twice.
Yes. Everything here, I do want to say I do it. God always intervene and support me. This is bells that we make. And I just want to leave my number with you in case anybody watching this program and they want to. My number is 736-9085 and they could call me day or night.
Yeah.
Right?
If they want to visit you.
Yes.
You have a shop, where is the location?
Well, we located on the wharf, opposite the Revival Time Church. Opposite there, you see a building, they call it Rodriguez building,
right,
inside that building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks again.
Yeah.
Wallet.
Okay. My name is Wayne Perrott. I am a copper artisan, and I work mainly in copper, and I also work in brass. The occupation really is called metal art. I first started to do metal art when I saw Mr. Arnold Duwerka at the old San Fernando Technical Institute. He first introduced me to copper work, and then from that he introduced me to Ken Morris. Ken Morris was one of our leading metal artisans in Trinidad and Tobago. And as you know, from since then, after I left the San Fernando Technical Institute, I began to work with one Miguel Machan, a mass camp in San Fernando. He was then on Mocorapo Street. From then, I moved on and I received a scholarship in the arts from the San Fernando Arts Council to attend the University of the West Indies, where I studied production and management. And over the years, I've also continued with the metal craft, even though I did production and management at the University of the West Indies, a summer course at that time in 1986. So as you can see, over the years also I've worked with the institution YTEP, and I am now working at the National Center for Persons with Disabilities, teaching them the art of repoussé on copper or metal craft. I will then show you some of my works here. Right? I teach like this. This is a woman with a bowl of fruits. And then that other piece there is Most people call it the Chinese pan man.
White check. Oh, the hat.
The hat. Yes. Right?
Okay.
And then the other piece is the Tobago jig. That's the Tobago jig. You know? Right? And then hummingbird and hibiscus. Over here is where you have that piece is Mandela. Calypso rose. Right? And then here we have the same Chinese pan man looking in a different direction. And as
You looking to open my shop or what?
yeah. And here we have this is the scarlet ibis in the swamp. Right? And then we also do like metal jewelry. Right? The silver that you are looking at is chrome. It's copper but it's chrome. This is the ankh here. And then this down here is the pan earring. This here, pan earrings. This piece is called the Sa, an African symbol. And then we have a spiral here in copper. We also have it in the silver form, chrome, as an earring. Right? Then we have like key rings. This one is in copper, but the silver one you're looking at here also is chrome. And then here we have some small ankhs in earring, but it's in a little plastic. Let me see if you can see it. Right. This one is called the ankh tweet.
That's Coptic.
Yeah. Right. It also, you could hang it as pendants. Right. Trinidad map, copper. I also had the one in silver, but I think those are sold out. So.
You don't need to pick up everyone, but just point.
And then this here is a spiral.
Yeah, I got it.
And
You're
here,
looking like spent shells, so.
huh?
Bullets?
Yeah, a
I was
spiral.
arrested for that.
A spiral. And here we have, this one is a kind of abstract formation. Again, the pan, music note with the pan. Get it? Yeah. Okay. Well, where I work at the National Center for Persons with Disabilities,
NCPD.
NCPD, they did these. This is what's called a letter opener. Right? A letter opener.
Okay.
Of course, you have here pen holder. Another pen holder, but this one is smaller. And if you know the Sankofa bird, this is the Sankofa bird. Let me see if I can get it out to show you. The story of the Sankofa bird, you know, is looking backward to go forward.
To go that alphabet.
Yeah, A is for black, A is for Africa, B is for black, C is for culture, D is for dignity. You're coming down the line. All the educational aspects of the African.
I for inspiration, J for Jah, K for king, L for love, M is for mother, N is for nation. And we see some of our heroes at the bottom. We come back to them. O is for organize, P is for pride, Q is for queen, R is for roots, S is for schools, T is for teacher, U is for unity, V is for victory, W is for wisdom, X is for Exodus, it used to be box long time, Y is for youth, Z is for Zion.
We have all
And
the
there we
heroes.
have our heroes.
Butter.
Yeah, yeah, Asante Wa, Nelson Mandela, freedom fighter, Amina Og Zaria, Marcus Garvey, famous Jamaican, and Harriet Tubman. Say something in African language.
Aquaba. What? Aquaba? Aquaba.
Ekabo.
Cabo.
It's welcome in Setswana.
Okay.
Lady of the moment.
Oh, not one as such. It's my show. Don't be taping. I say no that. Muraho, welcome in the Rwandan language. I'm Unika Nkrumah Lakan of Speak Out Sisters, President and Founder. This is our 5th annual Emancipation Gala, and we have an excellent evening lined up for all attendees. So looking forward to seeing you here if you haven't already arrived. Still time to get here. Show starts at 7.
7.
Take care. Bye.
Hello, greetings. My name is Roland Warner. My company's name is Iguana with a E, Iguana Leathercraft and Art. The company is about 20 years old. By now, I'm into leathercraft. Okay, I do sandals, belts, wallets, handbags, caps, you name it. My product is originally handmade leathercraft with genuine leather, also combined with fabric, wood, metal, ceramics, as well as any other thing that will blend with leather. I do. Yes, sir. Okay, we do some jewelry as well in leather. And we are located at 2 Church Street, Monipo, in San Fernando. All right, we do wholesale as well as retail. We do markets all over Trinidad and Tobago. We're also at the Emancipation Village around every Emancipation time. And we're here at the Emancipation Gala tonight at the Creative Arts Center. My contact numbers are 610-1617 and 377-9588.
Hello, my name is Josephine Hayford. I'm from Ghana, West Africa. I'm a designer by profession, and I design all these lovely clothes that you see here. I do men's clothes, ladies' clothes, children clothes. I do footwear, I do handbands, I do bags, I do necklaces, I do head wraps. I got myself interested in designing because I really feel like looking nice all the time. So what makes you look nice is you have to put yourself in it. I found Kafra Campbell about 19 years ago in Miami for a show, and he invited me to Trinidad. So for the past 19 years, I've been in Trinidad for Emancipation and Carnival. I came all the way here just because I want all people to notice that wearing African dresses is always with a pride. And if you are proud to be an African, your last bet is to always look African. Thank you.
Contact details.
My contact details in Trinidad is 760-9992, and we are located on 21 Gallo Street, just on the avenue opposite the subway, right down, and you find 21 Gallo Street. That is where the shop is located, and the shop is called Haylux. Unisex fashion with pride. Thank you. This is a necklace. This is a necklace, just like what I have on. You just put it on and it could serve as a top, you know. Just when you have your little tank top, you can just put on and that's you go. You look so dressed up for any occasion.
Thank you very much.
Markel's creation
From?
Palmis, San Fernando.
Palmis. Markel's creation from Palmis, San Fernando. So you make these things yourself?
Everything 100% local.
Is that Tulum?
Cholo.
Tulum boom boom.
Time Tobago style cholo.
Yeah. Chip chip sugar cake.
That, hold on, that is Moringa Kuma.
Moringa
Saichen
kurma.
Kuma, Moringa.
Moringa kurma. Saijen kurma.
Hi, my name is Psyche Jones Scott. My business is Cyclicious Passion. I make homemade bath and body works products, ranging from hair products straight down to your body. So we have shampoo, which is excellent for, trouble scalp dandruff, psoriasis of the scalp. We have a hydrating carrot oil conditioner, and we have a leave-in hydrating coconut milk conditioner. We also have a restoring serum for people with bald hair who want their hair to grow back, for people, who has issues with breakage. We have a restoring hair serum, and we have a lot of goodies for the body. So we have a goat milk lotion.
Goat milk.
Goat milk lotion.
It's from goat.
Yes, made with goat's milk lotion. We have soaps for the body. Here we have tomato, we have Karaili, oats and banana, we have turmeric. We also have a charcoal and a coconut milk soap. We have pure unrefined rosehip seed oil, which is excellent for your face. It helps with wrinkles and scarring. We have it in 15 ml. We also have oils for your body. We have it in these sizes. We also have it in an 8-ounce bottle for $55. So, when you want your homemade products, come to Cyclicious Passion. My number is 784-5094. I sell online. I could be reached via phone, WhatsApp, Facebook. I am from Freeport. All my products are made at Freeport. So come on down. About 4 years. Okay, I originally started with the hair butter. Yes, for my hair, I have relaxed hair, and my daughter has natural hair. And when I started with this and I realized that my hair growing and, the edges coming back and everything, I started to give out her samples. And people started to ask me to make and sell, so that is what happened. We started to use our own soaps at home because homemade is always better. The glycerin stays in. It's not chemically made. On top of that, I'm a family of 5, so we go through a lot of soap. So it was more economical for me to make my own soaps and use it. And then everybody started to ask about it. So here we have everything homemade. The raw materials are imported, of course.
This is so fantastic.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Eh? He sent his sister to represent. His sister? Yes. So you can't misbehave? I still need to watch.
Hi, I'm Miguela Simon, and I am here at Sisters Speak Out Gala, and it's a pleasure to be here again. I'm going to be doing my stuff, my this year Calypso, Wakanda Forever, and I hope you're entertained because it's all about freedom, Emancipation 2019.
Things started the right way, I would like to, I think they will want you to turn though, because they're doing the, so let me come down.
Bow your heads, silence, as we ascend our hearts to God. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercies endureth forever. Let the house of Israel now say that his mercies endureth forever. Loving God, we come in your presence tonight, Father. We ask your angels to be with us at this time, surround us within and without, keep us safe. We ask that you hasten the footsteps of those who are coming, Lord, bring them safely and on time. And Father God, whatever is being said or done here tonight, may it be to your name's honor and glory. And help us all, Lord, to draw closer to you, because we see the time is fast approaching. So many things happening in our country. Lord, we pray for our government and give them the insight to see and to know that you are God. Really protect his services also, because they cannot protect themselves. Protect us, Father, as we go from day to day. Grant us traveling mercies, your blessings. Grant us good health and strength. And Lord, into your hands we commit ourselves tonight. Be thou our guide, be thou our stay. Until you come to take us home, we ask with thanks in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Ms. Calendar. We will, as per instructions from Monica, if we can all stand for the singing of the national anthem. Come inside. Now, I am not Beyonce, nor am I Whitney Houston's daughter, so we will try, and we will sing lustily. Forged from the love of liberty, in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race finds an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race You may have your seats.
No, I'm going up here.
All right, so good evening once again. As I said, here's okay. We have to do the necessary adjustments because they didn't cater for me because of how I'm tall now. Right. So my name is Peridot Carlotta Webster Steele. A long name, but most persons call me Perry for short, and I will be your host for the rest of the evening. It is truly my honor to be here. Thank you very much, Onika, for inviting me, and welcome to Speak Out Sisters, the Emancipation Gala, with the theme, New Beginnings. Now, for those of you who may not be too familiar with Speak Out Sisters, Trinidad and Tobago, it is an African women's group dedicated to community activism and social advocacy founded in April 2015. Their mission is to create opportunities that will uplift, educate, and motivate the African community. Their vision is an African community that is economically empowered, socially aware, and culturally proud. Further to their mission, and in recognition of the United Nations Declaration of the International Decade for People of African Descent, they use this platform to launch an official emancipation celebration in the city of San Fernando. Speak Out Sisters TT, they host a series of etiquette and empowerment camps for youth between the ages of 5 to 17, as well as their public conversation series. SOSTT, as they sometimes known, they are currently developing an emancipation awareness school, a school program that will include an exhibit of Pan-African heroes and important historical figures, because I think it's very important. Yes, we have our Caribbean history, but it's also very important for our children to know their African history because we have a very rich one. Not so? All right. Their president and founder, Mrs. Onika Nkrumah Lakan, graduated from Middlesex University, London, with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Media and Cultural Studies. She is a published writer with 21 years of experience in communications and media. Onika Nkrumah Lakan manages The Right Style, providing written communications solutions as well as retail therapy through her clothing store. Mrs. Lakan has a keen interest in motivational speaking, volunteerism, working with schools, youth, and community organizations. So where is Onika? So she's gonna come to speak shortly, but for all the different programs that Speak Out Sisters offer, I beseech you to support them in whatever way that you can. So I have a thing about one of my personal mantras is leaving a legacy of excellence. That is my personal mantra for myself and for my children. And I'm saying this because I would like to introduce two young men, Niall and Mali Lakan. They are the legacy of Mrs. Lakan, and they are going to come on stage to introduce their mom. So let's give Niall and Mali a round of applause. Now, the three of us in the same party, that taller than the three we put together. So you need to come here in front for the lighting purposes, right? You all know what you have to say? So I'm going to put the gonna hold the microphone and you say, good evening everyone, because you say you're looking nice and think we had to start off nice. So you say, good evening everyone, and you take it from there. Yeah? Nice. Let's welcome them again.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Emancipation greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Speak Out Sisters' 5th Emancipation Gala. I am Mali Lakan. Please welcome our mommy, Onika Nkrumah Lakan. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Bible says that children are a heritage from the Lord. And blessed is the man or woman, I'd like to add that has their quiver full of them. So I give thanks to my 2 sons. I think they did a very good job. Could we give them a round of applause again? Thank you. So once again, Emancipation greetings, brothers and sisters. I've seen a lot of familiar faces, so I believe everyone know me. Onika Nkrumah Lakan is the name. As was said before, president and founder of Speak Out Sisters. The theme this year is New Beginnings, and a lot of stuff happened late last year, and I'm going to share a bit of that with you, and you all will get a better understanding of why the theme this year is called New Beginnings. The last quarter of 2018 was a year of transition for me. There were a lot of changes. I cut my dreadlocks after 17 years. And on November the 15th, 2018, after 20 years of service, I was one of 503 TSCT workers to be retrenched. I can't say that it was a complete shock because the writing had been on the wall for years. But retrenchment can be like death. You're never quite ready. You always think it's going to happen to somebody else. After all, we had seen many pharaohs come and go, and we just felt that this too shall pass. In any event, the rest is history. I came home and immediately pulled all my uniforms out of my closet, put them in a heap, and then I dropped in the middle of them and took a selfie, which I uploaded to Facebook. That was my immediate coping mechanism, a sort of visual confirmation that this was really happening. Now my mother, that lovely lady that opened the prayer for us, Sister Sylvia Calendar, being from the old school, whereby the left hand shouldn't know what the right hand is doing, felt that I should not have uploaded that picture. But I looked on it as a human interest story. Maybe it's the budding motivational speaker in me or the line of work that interests me, which is community, service, and so on. I looked on it as a human interest story. Now, I knew that the story would be repeated many times, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but globally. As a matter of fact, it is projected that by the year 2030, many of the jobs that we have currently will disappear or be drastically different due to technological advances. So, I was looking at the bigger picture, the universality of this situation. I was also looking at the fact that this could be turned into something inspiring and motivational. Now, when I uploaded those images, I did it on my own terms. That was my business to share. What happened to my other colleagues was not by choice. Soon thereafter, the list of all 503 workers was uploaded to a politically affiliated Facebook page. I wouldn't call their name here, they don't deserve, this type of publicity. And it was used as political fodder. It was used for political mileage. Because, you know, you had the comments such as, well, all you vote for that, red and ready, look at the names. Here, you know, this only confirms what we have known all these years that, you know, TSCT were hiring, you know, a certain type of people only. Anyway, this was a gross invasion of privacy because some of the people were not yet ready to share. While I could see the talking point and motivational aspect of it, it was too soon for some people. So you see, if I was trying to hide something, as they say, what in the dark always comes to light. And to this day, for anyone who is interested, whether friend, family, or foe, they could simply go on to that site and, you know, have a look at all the names that are there. So 2018 closed on that note for me. Now I'm a firm believer in Dilbert's law. When one door closes, somehow a crazy window opens. The new year 2019 opened a crazy window in the form of an amazing opportunity. Now, writing has always been my passion. I've written for newspapers, websites, magazines. I even edited a book about cancer. But I had a full-time job, so my writing career more or less was put on the back burner. It became a side hustle. Wrong move, people. Terrible, bad, wrong move. Never put your passion on the back burner. Anyway, through networking and the grace of God, I managed to land my biggest writing gig ever. I was hired by a well-to-do overseas client to work on a book project. They say true life is stranger than fiction. Guess what this book is about? This book is about the changing jobscape due to automation. So basically, this book is about a situation that I was already living. As part of my compensation package, I was offered an all-expenses-paid trip to Africa, the motherland. So here I was on a once-in-a-lifetime adventure on a working vacation to Africa. Now, Africa has always been on my bucket list. I just never really thought it would happen. And definitely not in such a spectacular way. New beginnings. You're all getting a greater understanding of why the theme this year is New Beginnings. Africa was epic, iconic, spiritual, enlightening, fabulous, exciting, eye-opening, and all the other superlatives in the dictionary. Africa should be on every African descendant list of things to do. Kigali, which is the capital of Rwanda, is a beautiful hilly capital called Land of 1,000 Hills. At any given point in time, you're always either going up or coming down a hill. Kigali is a first world capital. Don't be fooled. Clean, orderly, wide streets, well developed with beautiful buildings and scenery. I was very proud to learn that all this development was post-1994. So it was all due to the vision and determination of President Paul Kagame and the Rwandan people. It is not a colonial legacy. Rwanda post-genocide is one of the leaders in Africa. The people have determined that never again would such a wicked thing happen in their country. So much so that I'm told they have stopped using tribal identification. So it would be very politically incorrect to refer to someone as a Hutu or a Tutsi. They are all simply Rwandans. Kigali is literally 1,000 times better than many so-called developed countries, clean enough to rival Canada. And this is due to something in their tradition called Umuganda, which takes place on the last Saturday of each month. This is where the people come together to clean up and maintain their community. So I spent 3 weeks in Rwanda. Then I met up with my sister, who is a PhD living and working in Africa. And then we hopped over to Ghana, because we had to do Ghana, because coincidentally, 2019 is the designated year of return in Ghana, where all diasporans are invited to visit visa-free. We also have the right of abode, which allows us as African descendants to live and work there. Accra, the capital of Ghana, I would describe as similar to Port of Spain, but triple the intensity. It is a hustle and bustle city with its own charm. Beautiful, random roadside sculptures, brightly colored red, yellow, and green flags with the black star everywhere, statues of area chiefs. I visited the Cape Coast Slave Castle, walked through the holding cells, looked out at the Atlantic between the massive cannons. I even brought greetings to you, the audience, while on location, and then I lost it on my phone. Sorry about that. We were supposed to have a projector this evening showing all those lovely images. And I can tell you, Ghanaian food is very delicious. My personal favorites are the jollof rice, the tilapia fish, the tomato stew, the spinach palava, and you lucky people are going to get a chance to sample it this evening, because we have a brother here from the Ghana Association, Brother Moses. He's at the back, and you'll be able to sample during the intermission. I would like to say thanks to my father for instilling this African pride in me and for gifting us with the name Nkrumah. It is a powerful name on the continent. From Rwanda in the east to Ghana in the west, everywhere I went, the name Nkrumah opened doors. It was an icebreaker, and I was greeted regularly with, "You are welcome, my sister." Africa is full of opportunity, people. If Africa was only about poverty, disease, war, do you think everybody else would be flocking there? People? Okay. But that's the danger of telling a single story, according to the author Chimamanda Adichie. So while certain people here were telling me, "Girl, you brave," of course, because of the negative narratives that we are regularly fed in the media. But I see we are all brave. We are all brave if you think about it, because we live in here in Trinidad. And consider the rise in crime. Consider how scary things have become and are becoming every day. Meanwhile, the plane from Qatar to Uganda and from Uganda to Rwanda, my friends, were filled with Asians and Europeans. Think about that. How come we always scared? How come they see the untapped potential and business opportunities, and all we see is what could go wrong instead of what could go right? According to Sister Roxanne Mohammed from the Black Agenda Project, time to change the conversation. So all of these experiences has informed this year's theme, New Beginnings. As usual, our focus is on the youth. Now, my retrenchment experience has brought into focus one of our local sayings. Mother have, father have, blessed be the child that have their own. Do you know that the only people that I have ever heard say that is our people? I don't know about you all, I can only speak for myself, but the only people I've ever heard with that particular saying is our people, African people. You can't take it to your grave, they say. Duh, it wasn't meant to be taken to your grave. It was meant to be left for your generation. Nobody else says that,
because it makes no sense. And everybody else is about generational wealth and legacy building. So I have taken the liberty to reword that saying to this: mother have, father have, and blessed be my children who will have all that I own. So I would like to thank my mother, Sister Sylvia, my deceased father, Akinyeli Masaba in Nkrumah, for leaving a legacy for each of their 5 children. It is this legacy that I have been able to leverage to start a new beginning. Hashtag life after TSTT. We have to be visionary. Teach the children to love God. Think succession planning. Legacy building. We shouldn't despair if we have nothing physical to pass on to our children. Teach them a trade. To plant. As simple as teaching them the importance of networking and building people relationships is a vital thing. Tonight, we have Y Farm in the building to teach us the importance of farming and food security. Our speakers have been chosen because they have an inspirational story of new beginnings to tell. Brothers and sisters, tonight, we will observe a moment of reflection. People have become accustomed to observing a minute of silence, but here at Speak Out Sisters, we like to observe a moment of reflection. So that you're just not there silent, unthinking. We want you to think this evening. Think as we allow our imagination to become vivid. As we try to imagine the terror, the brutality, the pain, the anguish that somebody who shares DNA with us today would have experienced. May we resolve like the Rwandans, like the Jews, that never again must this happen to our people. Let us contemplate then what we can all do in a small way or a big way, within our own circle of influence, with our finances, with our intelligence and creativity, with our talent, by teaching our children our history and preparing them for the future, not through hate, but through forgiveness. Forgiveness being a gift that we give ourselves. Through forgiveness, we do not absolve our oppressors from their wicked deeds. Instead, we relinquish the burden. We throw off the cloak of victimhood. In closing, I would like to specially thank my family, my husband, Ras Jr., my sons, my little lion cubs, Nile and Mali, my dear mother, Sylvia, as well as all the team and all the Speak Out sisters out there, Dr. Angina, Bonnie Julian, Wendy Brewster, Marissa Diaz, as well as our Speak Out brothers, because we have Speak Out brothers too. Shepsu Napata, Brother Clyde Slinger, Neruki Ato Osei, and so many more. And I would like to thank you, the audience, for being with us this evening and for showing up in observance of this most solemn yet joyous occasion of emancipation. Others may try to diminish and devalue it, but it's up to us to give it the respect and honor that it deserves. Brothers and sisters, I invite you to observe a moment of reflection. Thank you.
Let's give Onika another round of applause. Thank you very much. So at this point in time, I would like to call on Mr. Shepsu Napata. Where's Mr.? Who's going to bless us with his talent? So let's give him some love. Let's show him some love.
Okay, okay, so I'm filling in for someone who's not here, and I'm in a quandary whether to do poetry or singing. So because I'm first, I'll do both. This piece is called Life on the Street. It's something that came to me quite a few years ago. Day after day, week after week, we experience life out on the street, striving to make ends meet while the food that we eat tastes bittersweet. For the land is polluted, there is no purity. Our houses are like cages, we call it security. As we chase after this myth called luxury, earning lots of money and yet being needy, living in isolation and calling it community. And in this land of plenty, I see there is so much poverty. And if no one responds to the call for honesty, honestly, how can there be any prosperity? As day after day and week after week, we experience life out on the street, watching as the children fall by the wayside, and no one knows how to stem the tide of drive-by after drive-by. As I hear another mother cry, and there are no answers to her question, why are we breeding all this evil in a land filled with churches, mosque, and temple? Could it be that we pay lip service, but in serving God we have no interest? Was there successful inquisition into all those crusades held in the land? And what about those holy wars? Were they all for a righteous cause? And when the messenger of truth is found in disrepute, what behavior is expected of the youth? So when the heathen and the infidel meet, a river of red flows on the street. As day after day and week after week, we experience life out on the street, living in a world filled with technology, yet no one has the vision to see that life on earth should reflect divinity, and we do it through living harmoniously, through sharing whether we have little or plenty, through taking the path of honesty and not doing just whatever we fancy. You see, we've all been deceived by the greater Nancy, who misled us with this term called selfie. So we turn our backs on our community and strive for success individually. Where are the sages to teach the youth that they should live a life of truth, to usher in the new dawn where all jail cells will be gone and no one will have to plead for mercy? So there'll be honor in living righteously. Then day after day and week after week, we'll experience love out on the street. Thank you. So I'm going to do something a little different that speaks to, why we're here. It's called Rise Up, My People. I hope you like it. Wake up. Let's give birth to a new dawn. Let's uplift the downtrodden and remove hate and scorn. Let us love one another, let us love. Arise and love one another, let us love. Rise up, my people, rise up from the bottomless pit, I say. Ascend the highest mountain and claim victory that way. Let us love one another, let us love. Uplift and love one another, let us love. Unite, my people, unite, it is the divine plan. Unite and love one another, let us love. Yesterday was history, tomorrow might never be. Today you must claim victory over iniquity. Let us love one another, let us love. Forgive and love one another, let us love. Unite my people, unite, it is the divine plan. For peace and prosperity to dwell in every land. Let us love one another, let us love. Unite and love one another, let us love. Thank you.
Much, Mr. Napata. Let's give him another round of applause. My favorite line was, "We've all been deceived by the greater Nancy." Love it. All right, so up next we have another spoken word artist by the name of Miss Wendy Brewster. She is a former prisons officer, and while stationed in the condemned section of the Golden Grove prison, she mentored and became a confidant of several of the women there, encouraging them to pen their stories and using the medium of spoken word to assist and encourage them. Ladies and gentlemen, let us show some love to Miss Wendy Brewster.
Good night, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here as part of this program. And before I am going to be reading some pieces that I wrote. But before I do that, I would like to give a small introduction to the reason that I'm here. In 1981, I met two men that made an impact in a positive way to my life. I was a teenager, and where I was from, if you go for a job interview, it would be going good until you said where you were from. And then they would put a smile on their face and said, they would say something like, okay, we'll call you. But you knew from their body language that was not going to be so. And there is where I met these two men who taught me the meaning of freedom in more ways than one. One was Mr. Stoke St. Hill, Errol Stoke St. Hill. The next one was Mr. Hal Graves, also known as Roy. Now, through my journey through the arts and learning the arts, they taught me other very valuable lessons, and I will never forget them, because at the time that they did drama and they directed and wrote plays and stuff, dialect was not considered drama to the drama fraternity, to some of the members. It was not considered real drama. It was not important. And as a result, these men were not acknowledged with how they were supposed to be acknowledged, the importance of the work they did, because they became mentors for a lot of us, because we could have gone the next direction, where society say where you come from, people like that, head in that other direction. So I would like to thank them, although they are no longer around and they have left a hole in my heart, but I would like to thank them. And when you listen to my pieces, I would like you to consider the lack of freedom and the pursuit of freedom. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is a black man's rage. And I'm going to ask you a question, right? What do you know about a black man's rage? What do you know of a black man's rage? Never can be captured on a makeshift stage. His journey through the triangular trade of all the promises that were made. Sell me. What do you know of a black man's rage? Caged as an animal, senses denied, million tears cried, freedom denied, ships swaying and tossing, no politicians fussing. Really? What do you know of a black man's rage? Tyrants with their hearts of stone made the masses moan and groan. Rulers, leaders on seats of pure gold. It irks to think how they were so bold. You tell me, what do you know of a black man's rage? Speaking peace when they meant war. Then no heroes came to the fore, blood spilling rapidly onto the earth, all the bloody mess soaking into dirt. Questions, no answers, cries on deaf ears. Some took their chances, some betrayed by their own peers. Show me. What do you know of a black man's rage? Past, present, future, modern generation, only interest is couture. Some burying heads in sand, some envision waving of a magic wand. Some just going with the flow, others rushing, go, go, go. Some put to pacify the ignorant masses unknowingly looking through rose-colored glasses, totally unconcerned about the black man's rage, blissfully unaware of a black man's rage, keeping at bay creativity, oppressing us spiritually. Stand and show me. What do you know of a black man's rage? And in modern times, still the same, carousing in countless myriad frames of allowed to feed of every creed, intermingling inherent streaks of greed. Think deeply concerning the black man's rage. Do tell me, what do you know of a black man's rage? Now, in this second piece that I'm going to do, in the entire piece, there's only one word of freedom. But I would like you to think outside the box, right? About the concept of freedom and the legacy of freedom that must be passed on to our children. So I would like the children who would like to come, please come now. Because you see, I want you to picture it. Get the picture in your mind of the importance of leaving a legacy for your children. Right? So come to the forefront. Children, come and stay in the front. I would like the your mothers and your guardians and whoever to see. I want you to be the focus of this.
We will inherit your world. Will you fight for us?
Are you willing to fight for these children? What kind of world are you leaving for these children? They will inherit our world. Will you fight for them? Show them not to give up on their dreams so easily. What dreams do you have? Last chance. They will inherit our world. Murder, mayhem, politics, bigotry, nepotism, rage and hate. Eradicate. Peace, prosperity, love, education, freedom. Leave this legacy. They will inherit our world. What dreams do they have? What dreams do you have? Do you want it bad enough? Masses too disillusioned to vote. Don't let hatred, racism, corruption, negative reaction deter us on our route. What dreams do you have? Do you want them bad enough? They will inherit our world. Will you fight for them? Exchange violence. Expose corruption. Eradicate greed. Express love. Cater to our neighbors' needs of every given race and creed. Who's the most important child in this world? Yours. And when is the most important time? Now. Let's raise them up to stand on mountains. Let's raise them up to walk on stormy seas. Raise them up on capable shoulders. Let's raise them up. Because they will inherit our world. What dreams do they have? What dreams do you have? Do you want them bad enough? Thank you. Thank you. One more piece I'm going to do. It is very short and it's interactive. There's a chorus that goes with it, and I would like you all to do the chorus. It's not hard. And this piece was written by a former condemned inmate who spent over 20 years in the prison, most of them as a condemned inmate. The chorus is this. But they lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. They lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. That's not hard. Right? So when I reach that part, I want chorus singers, I want backup singers. Right? From the age of 16, the man married me. He take me from my family and start beating me. A baby in my hand and one in my belly. Still this man show no mercy for me, but they lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. They lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. I finished cook the talkery and making the roti. The man come home and start beating me. Now the neighbors always looking like they're watching a show. The man almost killed me. They say they don't know, but they lock me in the prison. They throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. They lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. I go in the parlor where I black and blue. Everybody saying, yeah, it's good for you. So I put on my foot and decide to take a stand. The next thing you know, I'm in a prison van. But they lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. They lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. The police and them dumped me in the jail. In the courthouse, they didn't grant no bail. The next thing you know, I using a pail. And I shooting, But they lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me. They lock me in the prison and they throw away the key for slaying my husband who always beaten me.
Thank you very much for sharing your talent with us. Out of everything that she said, the line that stood with me the most was, raise them up on capable shoulders. You all heard that line? Raise them up on capable shoulders, which means that we have a responsibility. Out of everything she said, that was it for me in summary. Let's give her another round of applause, Ms. Brewster. Thank you. All right, up next, we have the Voices from Heaven Choir. Oh, you look beautiful. I love it. And they're coming to bless us with their talent, so let's give them a round of applause and show them some love. You need this room?
I am Carolyn Millington, and we are from the New Life of the New Jerusalem Sanctuary Ministries, and the name of our choir is Voices from Heaven. We are a gospel group, and we here all the way from Arima, and when we got the invite, we knew that we had to be here tonight. And it's indeed a pleasure to be surrounded by my beautiful brothers and sisters. You know, we understand the occasion, and in all things, we know that we ought to give God thanks and praise. In all things, we give God thanks and praise. And when we hear the theme, it says new beginnings. That's correct? And we know that everything begins with God. And he has to be in everything in order for us to be successful in every area of our lives. So we're going to bless your hearts with 2 songs. And we do hope that you enjoy.
Represents a new start at life. It is a commencement of being. We, the voices from heaven, are here to share the joy of the one who knew our very beginning, even before we did. Keep us as we commence this journey called life, as you continue to be with us till the very end.
My, oh Lord,
salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I? The Lord is my light and my salve. Whom shall I fear? Shall I fear? The Lord is my light. Oh Lord, and whom shall I fear? The Lord is my light. Oh Lord, and shall I fear? The Lord is my light, so I can win despite the enemy. Yes, they try, I know the Lord is on my side. The world shall rise, and the hosts encamp with its might. I'm confident God is on my side. Jehovah remains alive. The Lord is my light and my side. Whom shall I fear? Shall I fear? The Lord is my light. Oh Lord, and whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Yes, I can win despite the enemy. Yes, they try. I know the Lord is on my side. The world shall rise, and the hosts encamp with his might. I'm confident God is on my side. Jehovah remains alive. The Lord is my light and my salve. Oh Lord, and whom shall I fear? The Lord is my light. Oh Lord, and whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my light. Oh Lord, and whom shall I fear? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I? Oh, the Lord, oh, is my light. I know He's my light. Oh, He is my light. He's my light. He's my light. He's my, oh yeah, He is my light. He's my, oh yes, and He's my, yes He is, yes He is. Oh, today, forever, forevermore. Shall I fear? I won't fear. Oh, what man may say or do. Oh, He is my, oh, I know, I know, I know, I know. Yes, He is. Always, and He is mine. Oh, I know, I know, I know, I know. Oh, Lord, my. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So we're going to do one more song. And this is a more of an upbeat song. And if you know it, you are free to join along. Amen?
This train is our holy train. This train, yes Lord. This train is our holy train. This train, oh, this train is our holy train. Everybody ride in Jesus' name. This train, this train, this train is our holy train. Oh, I know, this train is our holy train. I know, this train is our holy train. Everybody ride in Jesus' name. This train. Cause I'm hooked on Jesus. Hooked on Jesus. Hooked on Jesus. Father, Son, and the Holy. Right now forevermore I'm hooked. I'm always. Oh, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm hooked on Jesus. Oh, you should know I'm Father, Son, and the Holy. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back. I'm going to meet my Jesus someday. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back. I'm going to meet my Jesus. I've got my mind made up, oh Lord, and I won't turn back. Someday I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back. I'm going to meet my Jesus. So stand by me. Yes, stand by me. Oh, stand by me, loving Savior, stand by. Oh, for I have no strength, no power of my oh, loving Savior, stand by. Yes, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Savior, stand by. Oh, for I have no strength, no. Oh, loving Savior, stand by. Jesus, my deliverer. Jesus is my deliverer. Oh, Lord, Jesus is my deliverer. My deliverer. I know he delivers. I know Jesus is my deliverer. My deliverer. My deliverer. I know. You've done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. Oh Lord, if I had 10,000 tongues, it still won't be enough When you're healed completely. Oh, Chukumamamile, you see you can do it, we sing. What shall I render to Jehovah? For he has done so very much for me. What shall I render to Jehovah? For he has done so very much for me. Nara, oh my Lord, what shall I render to Jehovah? For he has done so very much for me. What shall I render to Jehovah? For he has done so very much for me. I'm praising in the morning, praising in the noontime, praising in the evening, praising all the time. Praising in the morning, praising in the noontime, praising in the evening, praising all. Right now I'm praising in the morning, praising in the noontime, praising in the evening, praising all. Oh Lord, I'm praising in the morning, praising in the noontime, praising in the evening, praising all. Right now I'm praising in the morning, praising in the noontime, praising in the evening, praising all. Right now I'm praising in the morning.
Gala, as a teacher and artist, Miguel firmly believes in the power of edutainment and strives to ensure that there is a strong message in her music. She was a finalist in the 2017 National Calypso Monarch competition and has made the Queen's competition on several occasions. She is currently the monarch in Point Fortin and Caprichana for Miguel. There is always a message in her music. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Miguel I love your shoes.
So, pleasant good evening, everyone. Don't know where the guy saying about that is. I'm not seeing him. Mr. DJ, where are you hiding? But while we await him, I just want to say something quickly. Now, last year I was seated in this audience for the first time, and I listened well to the messages that were sent. And I must say that this song was inspired based on the messages that I received last year sitting in this audience. It made me think differently about myself and my music. And I don't know how many of you saw the Black Panther movie, but this is my take on it because it was awesome to see people go out to look at the movie. But then what? Music.
Listen to the lyrics well. As the movie reaches you see proud, I came from each label black and proud. Every movie was the best inside, showing one and all their African pride. When the movie will head and chanting home, with their hot and soul like warriors. friends. They get so happy, but still somehow, after the movie, I must ask you now, do we still walk under the innocent vibes? Walk under tribe versus tribe. Walk under what's killing blacks. Walk home and crack is grab and quarrel in every home. Grabbing a barrel of poor syndrome. But still I hear the voices clear, ringing in my ear. Wakanda forever. Was no freeman clap every time I blink. But with every clap I was forced to think. I'll easily say, oh, here in my land. Quick to choke and rub, that was a hand. I had to wonder every time you chant. What positivity do we ever plant? What black businesses do we support? Get the movie and we victory scores. Hey, the star of Panther, my people clap. Love is character on his conscious rap. His perseverance through at pain. But since that movie, let me ask again, do we still come under no self-esteem? No vision, no dream. These sisters still won't serve. And so many youth in jail, beyond these struggles, action and lights. Like we never conscious, we don't stand up for our rights. But still I hear in those voices clear, ringing in my ear. Wakanda forever. As they laughed with me, I was thinking hard. Don't we ever see the double standard? We like the illusion upon the screen. We like this fight, no matter and breathe. Do we really care about the black man's plight? For what black horses do we ever fight? The Jews get mixed up and go like the set. Tell me why the eggs get reparation. Yeah, oh Lord, the star of Panther, my people love what started right after with the push and shove. Beyond the spectacle, yes, beyond this song. When will my people learn to get on? Are we still be petty, be calm? We forever tearing our brother down. Burning bridges by building walls. No unity at all is being African. Just what you wear on emancipation. chanting, boy. Let me hear you. Hey, hey, what we chanting, boy. Wakanda forever. Hey, what we chanting, boy. Wakanda forever. Thank you very much.
Beyond the cinema, Black Panther forever. All right, now before we continue, we're just at the point where we're going to have intermission, where we have lots of things on sale. I want to invite everyone. You would see different business owners, etc., on the periphery. Give them your support, because they would have taken time out to display and show their craft. So give them all of them your support. Take their business cards, like them on their Facebook. They have their support box in front when you would have come inside. So feel free at any point in time, or even after, if you're not able to do so this evening, to lend your support to them. Now, at this point in time, we're going to have the Melanin Magic Fashion Show, featuring Little, Mr. and Miss Africa, Emily Designs, and Josephine Hayford Afrin. So let's put our hands together and show them some love as they come to showcase their talent to us. One door closes, another one opens. So what we will do in the meantime, we will have Mr. Kenzan Laudat, who will come to bless us with his talent with a song. Is Mr. Laudat available? Things up a bit. The Africa Sankofa dancers, are they ready? Lovely. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
musupole. Fuma fuma eto debie. Fuma fuma eto debie musupole. Ajina o wafe. Yo ajina Ajina o fire. Ajina o wafe. Someone so. Adewemio, Adewemio, Inga Adewemio, my boss. Adewemio, Adewemio, Gadewemio, my boss. Adewemio, Adewemio, Gadewemio, my boss. Adewemio, 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 my boss. Adewemio, Adewemio, Gadewemio, my boss. Adewemio, 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 my boss. Adewemio, 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 my boss. Inganuwa anuwa ba oba, gbege vivie bajo ye lolo iwo lolo inganuwa anuwa ba oba, gbege vivie bajo ye lolo iwo kanuwa lolo anuwa ba oba, gbege bibie bajo ye lolo iwo anuwa lolo. Listen, wonder she aeko, wonder she aeko, oh God and so wonder she, oh God was so to me say, wonder she aeko, poor girl, wonder she aeko, wonder she aeko, oh God and so wonder she, oh so to me say, wonder she. Wonder she aeko, wonder she aeko, oh God that's so wonder she, okay what's try to get me say, wonder she aeko, poor girl, wonder she aeko, wonder she aeko, poor girl, wonder she aeko, oh God and so wonder she, okay what's try to get me say, wonder she aeko, aye. Adewemio, 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 my boss. Yeah, 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 yeah. Adewemio, 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 my boss. gẹ́gẹ́ bí bí ẹ bá jòyè lólú ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀ ẹlúwa lólú ìkálùwà ẹlúwa bá ò bá gẹ́gẹ́ bí bí ẹ bá jòyè lólú ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀. Wonder ṣe àyíkó kẹwàndọ̀ ṣe àyíkó òkòdà sọ wọ́ndọ̀ ṣe òkèwọ́ ṣẹ́jọ kẹmí ṣe wọ́ndọ̀ ṣe àyíkó. Àpẹ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Àpẹ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Dàmàdàmàdàmà ewúrẹ́ ni àpẹ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Dàmàdàmàdàmà ewúrẹ́ ni àpẹ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Dàmàdàmàdàmà ewúrẹ́ ni àpẹ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Dàmọ́ ewúrẹ́ ni àgbẹ̀ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Dàmàdàmàdàmà ewúrẹ́ ni àgbẹ̀ nísàlẹ̀ tó pa. Ewúrẹ́ ni àgbẹ̀.
And you truly love what you do, that is what it looks like. Yeah. 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 Every one of them. You see small girl? Real moves, you know? Real waist. Let's give them another round of applause. I want to apologize to you guys because I forgot to tell you that your rendition of Psalm 27 was the most beautiful I've ever heard. Lovely. So while we are getting ready for the fashion show, so I'm making the announcement, so whoever is responsible for getting them here, I'm giving you the opportunity to do so now while I give out the prize. So I'm going to make the announcement, so whoever is responsible for bringing them here, do so now. Yeah? Anyone here, you are over the age of 30, I will check your ID card, do not lie. Over the age of 30, and your birthday is in the month of July? Anyone here over the age of 30 and your birthday is in the month of August? August, the first person to raise up your hand was my lady in the back there. Come, love. The reason I had to do it this way is because I received one prize and I was told to do it randomly. And for me not to be accused of voter padding, I thought that this would have been the best way to give the prize, don't you think? Nice. So, no, why are you looking so scared? So let me give it to you. One moment, please. So, you are getting a gift certificate from the Tranquility Bar, and they are located number 1 Pleasantville Circular Road, San Fernando, right? So their information is there. They specialize in skincare services, massages, facials, manicures, etc. So you're going to use it and have a girl's lime and take care of yourself, yeah? Pardon? If I have time, but it's not a problem, right? So here you go, my love, and your name is? Simlat Amlak, beautiful. Here you go, my dear. You're welcome. Lovely. So, the personnel responsible for the Little Miss Africa, Little Miss and Mr., are they ready? They're ready? Don't buff me up because they wasn't ready the first time. Right. Lovely. So, Little Miss Africa, Trinidad and Tobago, a registered non-profitable organization. They seek to encourage our sponsorship as they prepare to host the annual Little Miss and Mr. Africa Trinidad and Tobago 2019. This year, the theme is Wisdom Like a Baobab Tree. They use the pageant format to introduce girls and boys to a heightened cultural understanding as well as public speaking, etiquette classes, and scientific experiments. Their founder, Mr. David D. George, charges the participants to set goals in all of their endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you our fashion show now. Little Miss and Mr. Africa, you need the mic? All right, let me bring it for you. For them, all right, so. So they're telling me they need the mic. So let's give them a lusty, lusty round of applause.
See, I'm nothing, nothing without your love. From the bottom last pit, you raised me up. See all the bad things I did, oh, you still did bless me. And I see, oh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and to my fellow competitors. I am Maya Serenity Morel, and I am a proud student of the Aranguez TIA Primary School, and I am 8 years of age. It is my pleasure to be a delegate of the Little Miss Africa 2019. Thank you.
on this. See, I'm nothing, nothing without your love. From the bottomless pit, you raised me up. See all the bad things I did, oh, you still did bless me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And baby, I'm a senior from my young family.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaidi Alexis. I am proud to be a delegate of Little Miss Africa, Trinidad and Tobago 2019.
See, I'm nothing, nothing without your love. From the bottomless pit, you raised me up. See all the bad things I did, oh, you still did bless me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And maybe I'm a senior from
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nixon Calendar. I am 8 years old and I attend Sacred Heart Boys RC School, and I am a proud delegate of Little Mr. Africa, Trinidad and Tobago 2019.
all that you dress, I don't wear them. All them chats, I'm talking them. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. I give God the glory, oh, for turning around my story, oh. From studio to studio, trying to make a song for the radio. On my knees, I've been.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Malik Elijah Morel and I am 11 years of age. I attend the Arangwes TIA Primary School and I am proud to be a representative to the Little Mr. Africa, Trinidad and Tobago 2019. Thank you.
See, I'm nothing, nothing without your love. From the bottomless pit, you raised me up. See all the bad things I did.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zafina Walker and I am 11 years of age. I am the reigning queen of Little Miss and Mr. Africa 2018, and I am very proud and honored to be in your presence here tonight. Thank you.
See all the bad things I did, oh, you still did bless me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me.
Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I am Master Malachi Morel, and I am a proud delegate of the reigning Little Mr. Africa, Trinidad and Tobago 2018. Thank you.
Everything nice, everything fresh. Too much money, no problem. The all that you dress, I don't wear them. All them chats, I'm talking them. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. And I see, oh, na 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 me. I give God the glory, oh, for turning around my story, oh. From studio to studio, trying to make a song for the radio. On my knees I've been praying for the Father to bless me. Gotta get no easier, especially if you would every man later. One mentor, if you know it.
Let's give some love to those very, very young and articulate young people. I need to talk to small man, mom or uncle to verify. I need to verify that. Because he can't be going secondary school in September. That's a fair. That wouldn't be right. Somebody need to escort him. Where's that? But I love the confidence. Let's give them another round of applause. All right, so now we're going to have some more designs from other designers. We have Emily Designs. J&E Promotions presents African Head and Body Wraps. The St. Patrick Emancipation Kings and Queens 2019. Where would they be coming from the front? Brief intermission. Onika, how long?
Visit irockin.com for more Nigerian music anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, you are my African queen. Ooh, Lord, ooh, Lord. Just like the sun, light up the earth, you light up my life. The only one I ever see with a smile so bright. And just yesterday.
So make you stand to your feet and dance here for me, yeah. Oh, yo, yo. Chai, everybody sing. See, as God don't wear me a brand new coat. Make una come follow me celebrate. Everybody make una dey shout, oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo, yeah. See, me I don't come with my kind of flow. J Martins don't come elevate. People they see me, they shout, oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yeah. Say that God when bless me, lift me, they make me they shine like this, yo. I am be the reason why the people they see me, they shout, oh, yo, yo, yeah. Chai, whether he good, whether he bad, see God pray do one for me, he go do one for you, everybody say, oh, yo, yo. See, my brother, this kind of life, not to jolly they go, oh, yo, yo. It no matter whether they like you or not, oh, yo, yo. See, so make you stand to your feet and dance here for me, yeah. Oh, yo, yo. Chai, when I say kulu kulu, Papa and Mama them kulu kulu, Okada drivers kulu kulu, Papa God he dey your side, yeah. Chai, when I say kulu kulu, my brothers and sisters kulu kulu, everybody wait there kulu kulu, Papa God he dey your side, yeah. Yes, I chai, see, wait for your blessing and come and gone, everybody must make a way. Chai, this life will be there, no matter how you do, enemies must stuck, yeah. God come bless me, oh, that's all he go bless you, oh. Just God pray do one for me, he go do one for you, everybody say, ooh. See, my brother, this kind of life, not to jolly they go, oh, it no matter whether they like you or not, oh, see, so make you stand to your feet and dance here for me, yeah. Oh, chai, everybody say, everybody don't bless me, yeah. See, as my life with the sweet, yeah. I hope when they chop me like biscuit, yeah. Chai, now my song, yeah. Anywhere I go, I just scatter. I know they be them say me a too harsh for the matter. So be you, be my God, yeah. So make you watch, what you they talk, yeah. Say the God when bless me, lift me, they make me they shine like this, yo. I am be the reason why the people they see me, they shout for yo, yo, yeah. See, whether he good, whether he bad, see, God pray do one for me, he go do one for you, everybody say, see, my brother, this kind of life, not to jolly they go, oh, yo, yo. It no matter whether they like you or not, see, so make you stand to your feet and dance here for me, yeah. Everybody say, see, my brother, this kind of life, not to jolly they go, it no matter whether they like you or not, see, so make you stand to your feet and dance here for me, yeah. Take more
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them another round of applause, the St. Patrick Emancipation Kings and Queens of 2019.
I don't come, I don't show. Take more ends. Everybody say. My brother, this kind of life, not to jolly day.
And Kofa dancers, Ghana Association. Let's welcome them back on stage. Giveaway to go to the spa, and I would have had to do it in such a way that I would not have been accused of voter padding, right? So now I have 2 books courtesy the Black Agenda, the Black Book Mind Revolution by Brother David Muhammad. So the question I'll ask this time, who's other than my lady who would have received this certificate? Anybody's birthday is in August? All right, well, the first two, so I saw this young lady here, and well, I'll do it fairly, one on this side, one on that side. So my lady, come and collect your gift. What date in August? The 30th? Wonderful. Anyone on this side? Your birthday is in August. So I'm doing one on this side and one on the other side. Your birthday is in August, love? Come on down. Celeste Henry Buckmeyer, nice to meet you. There you go. You're welcome. And your name is? Adafi, lovely name. Here you go, sweetheart. Take care. You guys ready? Wonderful.
Oh, Ajina e, Mumbro, Ajina e, Mumbra, eya Mumbra, eya Mumbro. Mumbro na koko sechi, Mumbro Ajina e.
Jollof rice? Anyone had the jollof rice? Yeah, it was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah. So we're continuing with the fashion show. Our next designer, Miss Ayana Hargraves, aka Trisha Pauline. And her clothing line is entitled Shades of Africa. It was inspired by Trisha's desire to portray fashionable clothing at affordable prices with a unique touch. So Unique Styles was created with fashion for women and children in mind. Men's clothing would soon be added to the list. At So Unique Styles, there is a variety of skirts, peplum belts, throwovers, clutch purses, and necklaces with matching head wraps. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Ayana Hargraves and her wonderful designs. Job well done, Ms. Hargraves. Our final presentation for this evening, where our fashion show is concerned, is Josephine. is Josephine and her pieces. Are you ready? Yes? Is that person ready? I ready. They ready? They're coming? All right. So we're going to move on. Just making one more call again. One last call. They're in the back. Is it that they're on their way?
Angiboni
ni kuto. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Baba nazipina izinkomo zo baba, baba nazipina izinkomo zo baba, baba nazipina izinkomo zo baba, baba nazipina izinkomo zo baba. Wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu. Siyo begi izinkomo zo baba, esikangeni. Wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu. Siyo begi izinkomo zo baba, esikangeni. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Ilanganishoni le baba na masubuhi zikomo zo baba. 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 Wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu. Siyo begi zikomo zo baba, esikangeni. Wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu, wema pana tata nizindugu. Siyo begi zikomo zo baba, esikangeni. Zemuga no moya. Wasiona mola nganina, wasiye ngomo zo baba, zemuga no moya. Jimmy Sam's in the building. Jimmy Sam's.
ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Josephine. The designs are absolutely beautiful. Oh, and there she is. A round of applause once again. Job well done. And if you would like to get some more information on purchasing any one of the designs, feel free to check them at the door. They're actually at the booth at the door. Everyone doing all right? We okay? All right. So before our guest speakers come to the fore, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Kenson Laudat. He will provide us with our final bit of entertainment for this evening.
Good night, everyone. So I'll be doing for you today a spoken word piece entitled Ebony. So I believe I heard a black girl say that her pretty hurts. And her pretty will continue to hurt as long as ugly is deemed to those who wear the black body. So can someone please tell me what really is pretty? Because to me, pretty is having hair that defies gravity, possessing skin that ages slowly, embodying a body that can spell any letter in the alphabet other than ugly. So y'all better wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee, for the skin that you wear wrote mankind's history. From our backs, it built the world's nation's most powerful economy, and you would think by now that they will be able to give us our 40 acres and a mule. Teach our kids the unsystematic bullshit in school, but to give them those tools will only allow us to build ourselves up, and they got to keep breaking us down. For the sound of anything black succeeding is not pleasing. So let's forget their plan A and let's talk about their plan B, where they allow colorism to consciously creep into the cracks and creases of our cranium to cause chaos as the caution tape lines the carcass mouth of those who knows the truth, because death shall surely follow them if they dare speak it. But truth is still truth by any other name. So why should we be ashamed to walk the streets in our dreadlocks, our bantu nuts, our dashikis, and our afros? Are we still too scared to show how beautiful is black? Now I get it. I too have seen the cotton trees and the strange fruits that hang from them that look just like me, swinging low or up so high as these bitter tears leak from my eyes. No longer can I deny my past self, for a better gift can one ask for to know where he came from. Thus, the road to which he's heading would be easy. Trust me, the epitome of black beauty is the living embodiment I see staring at me from the mirror, screaming to me, Kenson, to love oneself isn't vanity, it is sanity. To love oneself isn't vanity, it is sanity. To love oneself isn't vanity, it is sanity. So y'all can spare me the degrading conversation on what really is pretty, because pretty only seems to hurt me, and only me when I wear it black and proud. Oh, how we just overshadow any crowd by just our presence. And the question, how will forever leak the lips of the ones who don't understand we were able to grasp a whiff of the Trinity that lives inside of we. That is when you know your worth and you have it manifest in your own comprehension. So never should we ever again have to shy away from our own reflections, for we are all walking temptations amongst envious eyes. And as they try to internalize us as beings, they can't. They don't possess the key to unlock our ancient rhythm, for our soul screams freedom, for we are free, and free from slavery we shall willingly mark our territory with our ancestors. Egungun, Afo,
go ashamed. They shall make a way. Relentlessly and without doubt, black people most powerful weapons exist in our mouth, so you can keep your version of what really is pretty. Because trust me, Trump ain't no corruption till Africans congregate and start a vibration so they can keep their version what really is pretty. Because trust me, no longer in this 21st century should we ever allow it to affect me. Because you want to know why? Guess why? For our black will forever be beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kenson. Let's give him another round of applause. All right, now on your program, you should see that one guest speaker and one featured speaker, so we're just going to switch the order. So up next, we have Mr. Nikolai Edwards. Nikolai Edwards is a youth advocate and social activist. He was appointed as the youngest independent senator in Trinidad and Tobago and the youngest member of the Procurement Board of Trinidad and Tobago. He has held the international title of Vice Chairperson Policy, Advocacy and Projects of the Commonwealth Youth Council. He's also the recipient of Trinidad and Tobago's 2018 National Youth Award for Youth Activism. He graduated from the University of the West Indies, where he earned a BA in Communication Studies and a minor in theater, also with a postgraduate diploma in Mediation Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring to the floor Mr. Nikolai Edwards.
A pleasant good evening, everyone. So let me first of all say thank you to Speak Out Sisters of Trinidad and Tobago for allowing me this opportunity to address you. Now, as I'm sitting here and just looking at the environment, for a minute I was wondering if I had been repatriated, because I'm really feeling the African culture here, and I think we need to give them a round of applause for that. Now, last year, August, I went to Zimbabwe to observe the elections over there. And I was expecting Africa in its beauty in terms of the culture and the heritage and all of that. And to my surprise, Zimbabwe had been so westernized. So I was feeling as though I had been cheated. And I can tell you for a fact that in Trinidad and Tobago, we're doing a good job. We can do better, but we're doing a good job in terms of preserving our culture. Because I was there in Zimbabwe on August 1st. So I was expecting something of grandeur style. But they did not recognize emancipation. It was not a holiday. So that just goes to show you how much we have here right in Trinidad and Tobago. And we must continue this effort to recognize, to appreciate, and to continue to push this culture, because we cannot allow it to slip away from us. So, Speak Out Sisters, and just recognizing the need to speak out, I think is so very important. Now, before I go on, let me just ask, make some noise if you're from San Fernando. Yeah? All right, so to everyone else who is not from San Fernando, welcome to the best part of the country. Yeah? Now, it is so very important that we understand that we have a voice, and we must use that voice to speak out at every single juncture and every single opportunity that we have. Because I often say to people, each day that you have the blessing or the opportunity to open your eyes, you have the ability to use speech, to use touch, to have sight. That is a day worthy of celebrating and recognizing. And the mere fact that you have the ability to do all of that, you need to use that ability to speak out, to recognize that you are more than just what you go by in terms of your name or your job or what you study, But we are all put here for a purpose. That's what I firmly believe. And we'll be doing ourselves an injustice and everyone else around us if we don't use the opportunity that we have to speak out on behalf of others. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, we're in a place right now that I am not too happy with. I'm not sure about you all, but I feel as though as a country celebrating 56 years of independence coming up, we have not done a good enough job in taking this country where we know it can be. But far too often, we sit and we wait for others to do a job that we are all capable of. Because every single day, you have an opportunity to make this land of yours beautiful and to make it better than the day before. But too many of us pick up and we fly away and we go to live somewhere else because we feel that is a better place, neglecting the many benefits that we have in this country. Free healthcare, for instance, free tertiary education. You can actually go to school and expect free breakfast and lunch. These are things for which we need to be grateful. But at the same time, considering the amount of wealth and the amount of opportunity that has arisen in this country, we should have been much further. And I say all of these things because I am a proud patriot of this country, Trinidad and Tobago. You can offer me $1 million to go and live somewhere else, and I will happily deny that, because I have so much to be grateful for when it comes to this country of mine. I remember attending when I wrote SEA, and I know we just came off of that whole SEA results season where everyone was anxious and looking forward to find out who passed for where. When I wrote SEA back in 2003 and I got my results, I saw that I had passed San Fernando Secondary Comprehensive, but I didn't know what school that was. It surely wasn't one of the choices that I had put down when I was writing SEA. I soon found out that it is what we refer to as Old Tech. And in going to register for the school, my mother had a lot of reservations because she wanted to get me a transfer. So she was putting things in place to get a transfer for me. And when I had spoken to my grandmother about it, she said there was a reason God put you there. And I took that and I said, all right, Old Tech it is. And I spent my 5 years in Old Tech, San Fernando Secondary Comprehensive. And when I was about to graduate after writing CXC and stuff, I remember my vice principal coming up to me and shaking my hand and saying, congratulations, Nikolai. I didn't expect you to do so well. And it took me a while to recognize that he wasn't saying that, or it wasn't coming from a place of malice, but actually, it's how society views many of us as not being able to succeed in this life because of the school that we go to, because of the texture of our hair, the color of our skin, which family we belong to, and so many other factors. Society does not expect us to succeed. And in that moment, I made a vow to myself, not just to prove society wrong, but to prove myself right. Because I knew I had potential. There were so many persons around me saying, Nikolai, you can achieve great things, you can go on to do great things, and so on. And thankfully, for that ecosystem that was built around me, I understood that I had potential. But it was now for me to act on that potential. And even saying this, I can recognize and I can understand that many persons don't have those kinds of support systems around them. And so, they fall victim to the power of the tongue in some cases. Because people tend to say things out of place and out of context. And many of us, because of low self-esteem and problems that we go through, we ourselves don't think that we can achieve much. But I made that vow in that moment. My first job outside of school, I worked at Beamer's Herbal Way. It's a herbal shop in Carlton Center. It's still there up to today. And I remember going to school, going to work every morning, and hearing on the PA system there, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And I was thinking, but what madness is this? And to make matters even worse, the owner of the store, a strapping African man, he was a Hare Krishna. So for me, that was a bit confusing. But I can tell you something. Having that experience, it made me really and truly appreciate the cultural diversity of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Because you will never travel anywhere else and experience what you experience in this country. And I can tell you that for a fact because I've traveled to many countries and I'm always longing for home. Now, as a young person in society, there are a lot of public pressures, all right? Now, if you're young, or you feel you're young, or you get younger apparently by the days, or even if you have a young person in your life who makes you feel young and keeps you young, I'm talking about the children, of course, I don't know what you're all thinking about. But as a young person in society, you have a lot of public pressure on you. Because on one end, people say that they expect better, but on the other end, you're not given a chance or an opportunity to prove your worth. And I can tell you that I have had many a challenge as a young person. Now standing before you at the age of 27, I have had experiences for which I am extremely grateful. And I know that the average young person does not have these experiences. But it is within me now to ensure that many other people have an opportunity just as I have had. While at the University of the West Indies, I sat on the Guild of Students where I represented students' issues. And a lot of times I'll be walking about my business and somebody will stop and say, hey, you the boy from UE. Because I was always on the front line fighting for young people and for their views and to ensure that better was done for them. In serving on the Commonwealth Youth Council, I was there representing 1.2 billion young people across the Commonwealth. This little black boy from San Fernando, who was able to be elected on such a high board, and it was only 9 of us. And then in 2017, having been appointed by His Excellency, former President Anthony Carmona, to sit as an independent senator at the age of 25. And the first piece of legislation that I had the opportunity to vote on had to do with ending child marriages in this country, for which I am extremely grateful. Because I believe society's role and function is to protect our children, not to marry them off to big hardback man and woman. That just isn't right. And we need to recognize that each and every one of us has a voice in society. You don't have to sit in parliament. You don't have to sit on a high board. You don't have to be someone with this big important name to make a difference. I always say to young people when I go to speak at schools that, let's say for instance, one day you want to fill a bucket, all right? And you realize, well, Wassa playing the fool as usual, so the pressure in the pipe real low, water coming out, drip, drip, drip. You put that bucket under that pipe and you turn it on. With each drip that comes out and falls into the bucket, you're one step closer to filling that bucket. And we need to see ourselves as drips heading into our bucket. We need to recognize that as 1.4 million people, each and every one of us has a role to make society better. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to come from a big family or an esteemed background to make a difference. So that's why it pains me when I see people pointing fingers and saying they ain't doing what they're supposed to do without asking yourself the question, am I doing what I am supposed to do? Now, I'm sure many of you all would remember back in 2015, there was a prison break in Port of Spain. 3 prisoners escaped, 1 police officer was shot and killed, a prisoner was shot and killed, and then 2 days later, they found the bullet-riddled body of another prisoner, Hassan Atwell. Well, Hassan Atwell was my father. And when that happened, there was absolutely nothing in that moment that could have prepared me for that. Because, I mean, we turn on the television, we read the news in the newspaper, we see things sharing on Facebook, but we can never place ourselves in the shoes of the loved ones who are left behind. Who feels it knows it. I remember going onto Facebook and seeing my father's body laying in a drain with bullet wounds. And I remember articles upon articles, news articles coming out on social media, and I sat, I kid you not, and read articles for hours, all the comments. And you know how Trinis could be out of timing. So they were saying things such as, it's good for him, he deserved to die the way he died, his family will end up the same way, nothing good could come out of people like them. And imagine me, in my early 20s, reading things like that. If it was somebody else, they may have committed suicide already. If it was someone else, they may have already picked up a gun and gone out and tried to take revenge on society. But thankfully, based on the upbringing that I had, I started to look at that situation through a different lens. I started to ask myself, how can I make this a positive out of this negative? What many people failed to understand was that my father was on remand. And for those of you who don't know what remand is, it's when you've been arrested by the police and you're held. You are probably denied bail, or you've been granted bail but you can't afford it, and you're waiting for your court trial to start. So my father was on remand for 6 years at that moment. There are many other persons who are in remand right now who are there 10 years and 15 years. This is the reality we face in this country. And when I thought about it, I asked myself, how can I help to prevent another situation like this from happening? And so I started to do a lot of research into the criminal justice system. And I started to think about how can I help to reform the criminal justice system. Now we're talking a big thing here because it's all the judges and lawyers, it's all the police officers, the prison officers, a whole system. How was I going to do something to affect that? But nonetheless, I was not deterred, because I felt as though I had a mission and I had something to prove and had something to do. And so I started organizing and meeting with persons and doing research and putting forward things and speaking out at every opportunity that I had. And it was along that journey that I was appointed to the Senate. And in 2017, there were 2 pieces of legislation that I had the honor and the privilege of debating. One had to do with access to bail, and the other had to do with the pretrial process. Standing at the age of 25 in the parliament debating such legislation, if you had told me I was going to do that a month before, a year before, 5 years before, I would have said a lie. But hard work pays off. And don't let anyone tell you that it's impossible. So, coming out of that, I started to work with a lot of young people, because I knew and I understood that young people are the #1 perpetrators of crime and violence and the #1 victims of crime and violence. So essentially, it's young people killing out young people, or young people committing crimes against young people. To even reach the age of 27, you have to count your blessings. So I continue to speak to young people, to try to mentor, to try to give hope to a generation that feels hopeless. Because I feel as though that is my purpose. If one thing that I hope to achieve while on this earth is to inspire a generation of young people to aim higher, to reach further, because we have it. I always say to people, I am not an anomaly. I am not a rare find. I am just one youth who was given an opportunity and who ran with it. So imagine if we give more young people opportunities, what greatness could come out of that. Now, I'm not sure how many of you all heard recently that there was a new political party on the scene, the Progressive Party. That was a party that I started, and it launched on the 16th of June on Harris Promenade right here in San Fernando. And that came about as a result of me recognizing that I had the potential to do for myself that which we usually expect others to do for us. And so I started to question, well, hey, I want to lead change in this country. I want to do something better. I want to give back in a meaningful way. Because for the past 10 years, I've been working in civil society, expending a lot of energy and time and effort and money trying to bring about change. But it feels like spinning top in mud, because if you don't have the political will, if there is not the government and the ministers putting legislation in place or policies in place, it feels like you're just doing the same thing over and over in civil society, hoping that one day things will get better. So I decided to take a risk. But at the same time, I was comforted or pushed by those words that I hear quite often. Be the change that you want to see. Young people are the leaders of the future, and so on. So I decided to take up that offer and take that advice. And I can tell you that so far on this journey, there have been a lot of naysayers. A lot of people who comment on my hair, because I don't know, they can't see past the texture of my hair or the fact that it's that long or what have you. There are a lot of people who say, well, you're too young, but they fail to recognize that Patrick Manning started in Parliament at the age of 24. All right? And when you think about all the other prime ministers, they started between 24 and 40-something. I thankfully had the opportunity to enter the upper house of Parliament at the age of 25. And then they will say, well, hey, this is a two-party system, and it's red and it's yellow, and you will never make it. But I'm willing to take them up on that offer, because I simply want to give back to my country. And I'm willing to lay down my life for this country, because I know how much this country has given to me. So the Progressive Party was something that I thought long and hard back in 2017 whether or not I was ready to get into politics. And I had registered the symbol for the party, the guiding flame, with the Elections and Boundaries Commission. And I spent the 2 years after thinking long and hard, Nikolai boy, you feel you could take on this bacchanal? Because we know how nasty the politics could get. So I spent 2 years thinking long and hard, and it brought me to 2019, where I said, yes, is now or never. Because in this country, we tend to cry for change, not so? We want to see something different. But why is it that when someone presents something different, we're so quick to criticize and to beat down? We have to support our own. That's the only way we're going to make a difference. I'm not here to tell you, hey, go and vote for Nikolai. This is not a shameless plug from a political party. But there are many other young people in society who want to do crazy things just as I have done, or take risks just as I have done. We need to support them. We need to let them know that it is possible. Because many of the older folks in this room, I'm sure you can recount that you had some big dreams. And when you voiced those dreams to your parents or to people around you, they probably ask if you're crazy. But sometimes you have to be crazy. Sometimes, in fact, you have to be mad, making a difference. So I really want to challenge everyone here today to be mad, make a difference. Do something that, regardless of the outcome, you can stand behind it. Because that is what Trinidad and Tobago needs now more than ever. That's what the world needs now more than ever. I remember this stage, coming here and taking part in Best Village, and enjoying that and understanding how powerful it was to understand my culture and to get involved. Coming here and dancing PK, and we have bongo going on and all of these things. We need to ensure that more young people are exposed to these things, because these things help to build character, build strength, build culture. But I also remember coming on this stage and taking part in Sandfest. And in 2007, I had made it to the finals of the storytelling competition, but the following year I would have been writing CXC. So when I had told my mother that I had made it to the finals and that I wanted to go and stuff, she told me, no, your school will come first. You need to prepare for CXC. I don't want to hear anything else. And in that moment I was like, but oh gosh, mommy, I could balance the both. But she was one who was very firm on education, because she simply wanted me to have a better life than she did. And so she was not seeing anything else on the side. And I remember when the day for the competition came around, I ran away from school. And I came, and I performed, and I actually won the storytelling competition. So now I'm excited to go home and tell mommy, well, hey, I get through. But when I told her that, she was angry with the fact that I disobeyed her. And in years gone by, I really started to reflect on that and to understand that she simply wanted better for me. But she did not know or appreciate or understand that sometimes you can balance things. So she was expecting go to school and this is what you need to do. And there are many other parents who are guilty of the same. I remember growing up and I just wanted my mother to say simply that she was proud of me. And I did everything in my power just to get her to say that she was proud of me. And it took me years to finally get that from her, because she was just not an affectionate person. That isn't to say she didn't care or she didn't love me or she didn't want good for me, but she just did not know how to show it. And now she's one of my biggest cheerleaders because we've developed a better relationship. So where that is concerned, parents, take the time to tell your children how much you care about them and how much you love them. Because we tend to take that for granted. We expect our children to understand that we really care for them and we love them and we'll do anything for them. But we live in a time where our emotions tend to get the better of us as of late. All right, we're acting on emotions. So we need to start having those conversations. Also, where is the village in the raising of a child? It seems as though we're fighting with the village now. We're telling the neighbor, you can't discipline my child, or who you feel you is, you never push this one out. Those are the things that lead to the society that we have today. We need to gather as often as possible, interact with one another. Don't just hide behind social media and stuff. Come out and greet your brethren and your sisterin and show them that we are in this together. So, in closing, I just want to say that it is indeed an honor and a privilege to address you all here today. And if it's anything that we need to take away from here, we need to develop community. That's the only thing that is going to bring back Trinidad and Tobago. Nikolai Edwards could come with the party and stuff, and this one can come with that, and this one could come and promise. But if we as a people are not united in purpose, if we as a people don't understand that vision or that end goal that we want to achieve and are willing to work together to achieve that, if we are not willing to do that, then we are a generation and a people lost. But I am an eternal optimist. And I know that we have it within ourselves to be better, to do better, to witness better. So I wish each and every one of you Godspeed. And I look forward to interacting with you wherever and however. You could stop me, hey, easy boy who talk and so and trust me, we'll have a good conversation. But that is what we need more of. So again, I thank you for the opportunity, and I just want to say that this setting, let's continue this. Let's see how we can replicate this. Let's get more of this in every single community, in every single space. Let's educate our population about the importance of cultural preservation and where we have come from in order to know where we are going. Thank you very much.
Before you leave the stage, I'd like to invite Zakia Leslie to present a token of our appreciation to you. In the meantime, PCS 9811, that's PCS 9811, you're blocking someone, please remove your vehicle, thank you.
On behalf of Speak Out Sisters, we want to thank you for coming here and taking the time out of your busy schedule to grace us with your presence and with your wise words. Thank you, and we hope to see you again.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, folks, well, you all notice the MC has changed. The other young lady was not feeling so well. We're going to try to speed things through now. I appreciate your patience. The program overran a bit because of the late start, through no fault of the organizers, but
I thank you for your patience, so we're going to move a little fast now, okay? We have 2 giveaways, courtesy Miss Wendy Brewster, to 2 lucky people in the audience. It's courtesy Wendy Brewster, as I said. It's FM products, and it's an excellent business opportunity. If you would like to know more about it, you can contact her on 787-6975, 787-6975. So she's just going to call 2 lucky people from the audience quickly, and then our last speaker for the evening, if you just grant us 20 minutes more of your time, will be Mr. Akini Harry, okay?
I'm doing this random. So as we are in the 7th month, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This lady there, the one who is looking back. On behalf of this product, FM product, you would enjoy it. It's a perfume, pure perfume, so you will enjoy it. Yes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A male. That male there, yes. Pleasure to give you this, this one. Pure perfume, eau de parfum, 16% of the oil at least. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
And one last giveaway is courtesy McHale. Courtesy McHale, and Miss Wendy Brewster will just hand it to someone randomly in the audience, okay? Thank you. PCF 4587, you're blocked about 15 minutes more. And then it'll be the end of the program. Thank you so much. It's courtesy McHale.
Pleasant good night to each and everyone here. I was invited here to share my personal testimony about how I overcame challenges in my life. Now, keeping in mind with the theme New Beginnings, in 2008, I wrote a C examination and I passed for Presentation College in San Fernando. Being one of the premier schools in the country, my time there wasn't so premier. I became affiliated with a group of friends. You can refer to us as a wolf pack. We would often engage in fights, stealing, gambling, and that sort of behavior. No. My relationship with these individuals continued straight throughout secondary school, 5 years. When I wrote exam, I came out with 9 subjects and I decided, well, it was time for a change. Trying to get away from that negative environment, I went to Kalpi, China, East Secondary, and there I did CAPE examinations, commonly referred to as A-level. In 2014, 2 friends and I we committed a crime, breaking and entering, where we worked at Empire Cinema in San Fernando. Eventually we were caught, charged, and placed into remand. This experience has changed my life for the better. At the time I was 18, still going to school. Eventually we came out on bail. Now, having experienced this, it was traumatic, right? Now I was now going into upper sixth. At the time, my family wasn't that stable financially, so I had to work, PH taxi on the road to come up with lawyer fees and whatnot. Then I had to finance myself through my final year. At the point in time, I was on the verge of receiving a football scholarship because I was into football. I was a member of several championships within teams, W Connection, Central FC, Presentation College, you name it. So being incarcerated resulted in me losing my scholarship. So I had to decide what was I going to do with my life. One day I was scrolling through the internet and I saw UTT advertising courses for 2015 intake. I came across criminology and public safety. So I decided to try my luck. Eventually I got through and I was accepted. Now, being enrolled here changed my life for the better because I was able to understand how my relationship, my social environment resulted in my downfall. I was able to understand how negative peer influences, negative social environment, negative living conditions could propel one to a life of crime. In my field of study, there's something that we call social control theory, and it talks about people having positive relationship with friends and family and how this could keep you on track. Now, in my situation, I was able to understand that the company that I kept around me was mainly responsible for the attitudes and values that I developed in my life. Because I came from a strong family, right? So, my time at UTT, during my time at UTT, I continued to face trials where I had to work and send myself to school. It wasn't easy. Most times I had to complete entire group assignments on my own, trying to keep motivated. Right? Last year, November, I graduated, top of my class, despite everything that I have been through. Right? So, using my life As an example, it is never too late to start over. Now, traditionally, the African family, we have been disadvantaged. Our history of slavery and indentureship, although we fail to recognize it, contributes to where we are today as a people. Right? During slavery period, family life was not promoted. Matrifocal or female-headed homes were encouraged, and today we suffer the consequences of that. Compared to our East Indian counterparts where family life was encouraged, the male was seen as a dominant figure in the home. Our African families lacked that male father figure, that role model. Quite often, we see female-headed households in our African community. No male role models to guide the young people, and this continues to be a major impediment in our advancement as a people. So, bearing all this in mind, I want to encourage each and every one of you who has been at a crossroad in your life, who has faced your own challenges, who doesn't really know what your next move is in life. It is never too late to start over. I would like to thank Ms. Onika and Nkrumah Lakan and the Speaker Sisters family for inviting me here today to share my story, and it was an honor being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Akini Harry, for sharing with us, and thank you for your patience. So now we have come to the end of Speak Out Sisters' 5th Annual Emancipation Gala. And very quickly, I'd like to call a young lady with another token of appreciation for Mr. Akini Harry. Can we get Zenara Leslie? Zenara Leslie with the token of appreciation for Mr. Akini Harry for sharing his message of empowerment with us. Mr. Akini Harry, if you'd like to rejoin us.
On behalf of the Speak Out Sisters, we'd like to thank you for taking your time to come and speak with us.
Okay, brothers and sisters, we've come to the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for coming. Reach home safely. God bless everybody. Thank you.